Hi, my name is Frank Schaefer. I am a writer, painter, and commentator, and I happen to live in a house that I've been in for almost 38 years now with Jeannie, who I've been married to 47 years, and nearby I have 3 of my 5 grandchildren that I take care of. I've written novels like Portofino, most recently a nonfiction book, Why I Am an Atheist Who Believes in God, and mine has been an odd journey because I come from an evangelical fundamentalist background where my father was a religious leader in the religious right back in the 1970s and 80s, and I fled that. I left that because of the ridiculousness of the theology and the horror show of the harsh politics and so forth. So I've been out of that movement about 30-some years, but I've been tracking it. And I want to say this: I happen to live on a property near the tidal flats of the Merrimack River in Massachusetts, and my property will be underwater soon. I don't mean this week or next week, but in the next few years. Jeannie and I are hanging on to it and not selling out because we've never seen our home as an investment, but a place we live, where our memories are. But my grandchildren's memories are going to be cut short because of climate change, because of man-made global warming. Man-made global warming evangelical Christians mostly don't believe in because they've accepted Donald Trump's version of reality, the Koch brothers' version of reality, ExxonMobil's version of reality, the true fake news about our planet. While Houston struggles underwater, it's simply a prophetic warning of what is to come for all our coastal areas, and indeed with wildfires and drought, our interior, the quote flyover part of America that is demeaned as less important than the coast, and so forth and so on. Just to be very blunt, if you want to thank somebody and you live in Houston for what's happening to you, send a bill to the Koch brothers. Send a bill to Donald Trump and his Secretary of the Environment that are rapidly, busily, like termites, digging into the foundation of a building, undoing all our environmental protection, all our environmental regulation. Thank them for the dirty air you'll be choking on, that your child will die of asthma from. Thank them for the rising tides everywhere. If this was a fair world, the Koch brothers would be hauled out of their apartment on Park Avenue, tarred and feathered, and marched down the street while millions jeered at them for having profited off the destruction of our planet, and then used the money on top of that to set up propaganda organizations that say climate change isn't even real. Houston is a warning. Take it from someone who lives in a coastal area and has watched the lawn begin to die over 37 years, which is an eye blink in geological and global time, as each year the tides get a little higher. My 3 fruit trees, a pear tree, an apple tree, and a cherry tree, are now dying because their root base is being polluted by the saline water coming up in land that was settled in the 1600s, where the Indians, the Pequots, the Native American tribes lived for thousands of years in balance with the environment. Houston is a warning that the alternate reality that evangelicals have created for themselves, where these idiots believe in a literal Bible and Noah's Ark and all the rest of the nonsense that they swallow with their fundamentalist faith. Parenthetically, I am not anti-religious. I'll be taking my grandchildren to church next Sunday because that's how my mom raised me, and I am a person of faith, if not belief. I certainly reject the theology, but I like the idea there's some greater purpose in life, and I get in touch with that at church. Other people find other places, certainly not a fundamentalist church. That said, remember to thank an evangelical, a white Trump voter, for the next Houston and the next weather event and the next raging fire out of control, scorched crops, raising temperatures all over the globe, including the United States. We are in a crisis, and that crisis does not have to do with neo-fascism and white supremacy. That is a footnote, important as that is, much as I've talked about, hate-filled horror show that is. The real story is that we have a president at the very moment of history where we need moral leadership on the environment, turning us against our own globe. He's told 1,000 lies about so many things and so many people, but the biggest lie of all, even bigger than his birtherism and his racism, is his anti-environmentalism. That lie has legs not because of him, he's a fool, he can't get anything done, but because it taps into the Republican connection with a white supremacist oligarchy, supremacist not just over other races, but over our planet. So hear this: 2018, the congressional elections, is your only chance to turn back the tide a little bit. Hear this. If you're voting for independent candidates, or you think that you can sit this out because you were a Bernie fan and you didn't like Hillary and you don't like the Democratic Party and you think they're just the same, bullshit. The Democratic Party believes in protecting the environment and will do its best to do so. In 2018, if we don't take the House back, we are screwed. So let every news story coming out of Houston remind you, thank a white evangelical Trump voter for a future that is nothing but stories like this. Thank the Koch brothers and their foundations and think tanks and lying global outfit trying to profit off oil and coal and carbon fuels instead of turning towards alternative energy sources. And above all, in 2018, fight, get involved, volunteer, donate. I am an independent, non-affiliated voter. I am not in the Democratic Party, but I donate to the Democratic Party anyway because right now they are the only game in town that stand between us and these fools doing to our entire planet what is now happening in Houston. Thank you. My name is Frank Schaefer.